under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Corman?
Here.
Ms. Palmer?
Here.
Mr. Person?
Here.
Mr. Prince?
Here.
Ms. Breyer?
Here.
Mr. Zwicker?
Here.
Mr. Taylor?
Here.
Roll call, Mr. Mayor, all present.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is a special proclamation.
Proclamation. Whereas our success as a community depends on helping every child succeed in school and reach their full potential in life, and we realize that young people need a solid foundation of support to help them become well-educated, confident, and productive citizens. And whereas Communities in Schools is the only dropout prevention program in the nation proven to increase graduation rates. This research shows that mentoring has beneficial and long-term effects on youth by increasing their chances of high school graduation and college attendance, and decreasing the likelihood of substance abuse and other risky behaviors. And whereas thousands of Renton's children are in need of a caring adult mentor in their lives, and closing this mentoring gap will require more investment, partnerships, and volunteers ready to make a difference in a child's life. And whereas National Mentoring Month is an opportunity to raise public awareness of the importance of mentoring, recognize the dedicated individuals who serve as mentors, and encourage more citizens to help build a brighter future for Renton's youth through mentoring. And whereas the mission of Communities in Schools of Renton is to surround students with a community of support, empowering them to stay in school and achieve in life. Now therefore I, Dennis Law, Mayor of the City of Renton, do hereby proclaim January 2013 to be National Mentoring Month in the City of Renton, in tribute to the many dedicated individuals who volunteer their time, compassion, and talents to mentor young people. And I encourage all citizens to join me in this special observance and to consider giving back to our community as mentors. In witness whereof, I have herein to set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Renton to be affixed this 7th day of January 2013, signed Dennis Law, Mayor of the City of Renton.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Palmer.
I move that council approve the proclamation.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Palmer, seconded by Mr. Corman. The council adopt the proclamation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. We have Sue Parle here as the Executive Director of Communities and Schools of Renton.
On YouTube.
Thank you, Mayor Law. It's always a special honor to come and receive this proclamation and to share our mentor program with you and all the city. I'm not sure if there's any mentors in the audience. And I have a quick email. But you know that we have a lot of people. And what I want to do tonight, different from other times, is to thank Mayor Law for his encouragement of staff, city staff, to be mentors. It was, I believe, a bold step, and we've stirred a lot of interest. And one of the highlights has been that you have also stirred interest with the school district and with other businesses, and we're leveraging that. So it isn't always about how many people you get on that initial try, but the superintendent, Mary Alice Huschel, also did talk to her staff at the school district office, challenged them in a similar way, and so some of them have signed up to be mentors. And as we go out and talk to businesses, we're carrying that story and causing people to think a little differently about how they might help us find mentors. So I really appreciate that effort and the step that you took, Mayor. And just a sincere thank you for all the support that you provide for Communities and Schools of Renton. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sue. And as you know, we have a soft spot in our hearts for communities and schools, and we've seen the outcomes from a great program, and a number of our council members have been mentors. Marcy's still a mentor, and so we appreciate all you do. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, moving on to administrative report, Mr. Covington.
Mr. Mayor, I have one item that I'm happy to report. I suspect that most of us were involved last night in some way with our television or radio or something somewhere yesterday afternoon, and got to experience our home team win a game, and the Seahawks have requested, and we have gladly accepted their invitation to host a rally send-off party this Friday from 12:30 to 2 p.m. here at the steps of City Hall to cheer the Seahawks on as they go to Atlanta for their next game. The 12-man flag will be flying high, is currently above City Hall, will continue to fly this week. We're encouraging folks to come on out to wear their best blue and green colors, their best Seahawk memorabilia, and to participate and show their support. We'll have free hot dogs here. The Seagals will be here. We'll have other folks here to help cheer us on. And so we're just encouraging folks to come on out. 12:30 to 2 p.m. here at City Hall this Friday. We'll hopefully cheer the Hawks on to another victory.
Thank you, Mr. Covington.
Bet.
Moving on to audience comment, we have one person signed up to address the council. Bev Horn. If you could come to the podium, give your name and city of residence for the record, and you have 5 minutes. We have a timer next to the clerk.
My name is Bev Horn, H-O-R-N, and I live in Renton. They always say to, choose your battles carefully, and this is going to sound like a little piddly battle, but I have a small business in downtown Renton. Ed, you've been in before. Marcy, I've met you before. The business is Arts and Crafts, and it's on 3rd Street between Main and I guess it's Williams. And so, having gotten a number of parking tickets and finding out my clients are getting parking tickets too, I was really doing a lot of research on the ordinances, and I just had some concerns that I wanted the council to address. And I'm not here to talk anything about the enforcement officer. She's doing her job. It's more about the ordinances. So I was wondering, right now I'm trying to have more business during the daytime, team building events. I've had several in, Microsoft and Quanex, DaVita, First Savings Bank. They've come in during the day. My problems are the 2-hour parking limit. My classes, I don't know if you're aware of what my business is. It's a painting and sipping wine venue in downtown Renton, and it normally takes about 2.5 to 3 hours to get a class through there. So for team building events, for example, Microsoft comes in at 1:30 and they leave around 3:30 or 4. But the problem is the Uptown Glassworks, the parking lot to the north side there, is generally full. The other parking lot that's all day is over by the red house. Although I drove over there and the only signage I can see, it says 2-hour parking. The signs say that, but online it says it's all day, so I'm not exactly sure if that's an all-day lot or not. But unless they park, which is 4.5 blocks away, because the Uptown lot is usually full, it just seems not a good, a positive experience to tell companies to come in, but yet you have to park 4.5 blocks away. Otherwise, we have to set timers, and then we have to, run out to our cars and check and see if they've been chalked. If they've been chalked, then we have to find a new place to park, but it can't be within a 4-block radius of where you're at, so then it's another 5-block walk to come back to finish up. So I wanted to make some suggestions based on that one thing. I was kind of hoping that one thing that may be considered is a 3-hour time limit, and I've heard this from other businesses, even people that come down to maybe have lunch and go shopping. If you have lunch for an hour, you go shopping, you can easily come back and have a ticket on your car. Another thing, maybe provide, this would be for me, maybe a 3 or 3.5 hour parking exempt, kind of like a parking validation, something that I could put under the windshield for that particular time frame when I'm having a team building event, so that they would be exempt from getting a ticket while they were attending a team building event. So that one might be a couple suggestions. Another thing I would like to have, a lot of the people, day and night, that come in are concerned if they parked in a spot that they will get a ticket. They don't know if it's 1 hour, 2 hour, no parking. I've had that happen in back of on Hauser, where my business is. I parked in what I thought was a 2-hour parking spot, found out it was a 15-minute parking spot, the curbs weren't painted like it says in the ordinance. And again, if you, I've got copies for everyone here. There's a lot of discrepancies as far as 2-hour parking limits. If you take Hauser Way from Main Street and you go 2 blocks, it's 1-hour parking. Then that really short Hauser Way where that little park is, that's 2-hour parking. 4th Street in front of Whistle Stop is 1 hour, but 4th Street on the other 2 blocks on either side is 2-hour parking. It's very confusing for me, it's very confusing for my clients, so I would like to have that looked at. I would love to see a standard parking time throughout the city of Renton, except with the exceptions, maybe the curb being painted. I also have had in back of my building where I was parked where I thought it was 2-hour, and I found out it was a loading zone and got a ticket. I took that to the judge, showed him all the signs, and he threw it out, and I believe he gave that to the whoever's in charge of the planning for the signage, so I no longer get tickets there. But I got a number of examples of sign incongruencies that I would like to, I could leave you with that information. Let's see, the other thing that you can't do anything about, that's a state, but I did find out if you park 18 inches away from the curb, you'll get a ticket because it's 12 inches away from the curb. So most people don't know that, they will get a ticket, and then they'll find out, oops, better never do that again. So I don't want one more sign up that says, don't park more than 12 inches away from the curb, but that's one of those things where you only find out once you've done it. Let's see. A lot of problems my customers are having with, they can't find my place, which is it's easily found, except they're getting so stuck on one-way streets and they can't get back to me. And I know there was something being done, a study about one-way streets, perhaps doing two-way streets. Me personally, when I first moved here, I ended up going down the wrong way on a one-way street, not realizing. So that's something, if it turns out that that might be something positive, I would love to see less one-way streets. Again, that Hauser Way in back of my building where the railroad tracks is, you go 2 blocks and it's one way, and then that last little one is one way the other direction. And so, again, it's very confusing. So I would like that to be looked at.
Excuse me, Ms. Horn. Your 5 minutes is up. Council, do you have any objection to?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, yes. Couple more minutes, I move we give her a couple
Just
more
wanted to
minutes.
get council
All right, sorry.
position, so go
Boy,
ahead.
time flies when you're having fun, so. Back to the parking lot on the north side of the Uptown Glassworks and the one over, that's free parking all day. I hesitate to tell people to park there too, only because if they park there in the evening, I've had to call the police twice, and I probably should have 3 times, because I've had, for no better way of saying it, street people come in and get belligerent and not leave. And I see a lot of that on the streets. In fact, I would say nearly every evening that I have a class, there's sirens going by, and I don't want to have to send my clients at 10 o'clock at night to a parking lot that's not very well lit, either 5 blocks away or another one that's not very well lit. So safety is a little bit of a concern for myself as well when I leave at night. I mean, I'm usually have somebody with me, but that's a little bit of a concern. And just concerned about the businesses closing. I was hoping that there might be something that, this is probably economic development, but that we could encourage landlords, some kind of incentive to get the small businesses in downtown Renton. I just did a quick spin of the landing, and 2-hour parking for everybody down there. And so I would just like to see maybe a little bit more accessibility and ease of maneuverability in downtown Renton.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, Mr. Taylor.
Mrs. Horn, I would just like to say thank you. It's so refreshing that you come to the council with an issue, but you've taken the time to study it, to research it, and most importantly, to come with some very good ideas. I want to thank you for that.
Thank you. Do you want any of this information?
That would be great if you could give it to the city clerk. We'll make sure all the council members receive that. Mr. Person, maybe this would be, let's say, I don't know if this would be public safety or maybe it would be planning.
Be transportation.
Transportation. Somebody would like to refer this to committee?
I move that we refer this issue to the Transportation
Second.
Committee.
It's been moved by Mr. Person, seconded by Mr. Taylor, that we refer the parking issue to the Transportation Committee. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Okay, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Mr. Person.
Being on the Transportation Committee and the Public Safety Committee, we'll also talk about the safety issue too.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on to consent agenda, we have 7 items for council consideration. Are there any items a council member would like pulled for discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms.
I'd
Breyer.
like to pull item F.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I'm going to pull item C, I think.
Okay.
And with that, I would move approval of the consent agenda minus items C and F.
Second?
It's been moved by Mr. Corman, seconded by Ms. Palmer, that council approve the consent agenda minus item C and item F. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Let's see, Ms. Breyer, item F.
Yes, item F is from Community Services Department, and it's regarding the 5-year lease with Puget Sound Access for the use of the Carco Theater. And it asks that this be referred to the Finance Committee, but I would like to ask that council concur with the approval of the 5-year lease. We've been briefed on it several times in different committees, and they're anxious to get moved in and get settled. So I think it will be a real good, a very nice benefit for the city having them in the Carco Theater.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Breyer, seconded by Mr. Taylor, that council concur with the Community Services Department recommendation on a 5-year lease with Puget Sound Access for Carco Theater. Any discussion or questions? All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Mr. Corman, item C.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I actually don't mind the action at all proposed for this one. I just had a question for our city attorney on item C. I don't remember being pulled into homeowners assessments. Homeowners associations got an assessment and a complaint to foreclose lien, and they pulled the city in. Is it, I don't want to put them on the spot, but is it fair to
aware.
ask how common this is?
I'm aware of this case. First off, there are very infrequently are mortgages or deeds of trust foreclosed judicially now. They're done non-judicially. We get constant streams of notices of deed of trust foreclosures, and the city is frequently added to the list of people because we do have unpaid utility bills, and in some instances we do file liens. This particular lien was a 2011 lien. The state law says that we have to foreclose within, I believe it's 4 months of having filed the lien, and so the lien is not valid in the first instance. Looking at the legal documentation, the deed of trust or mortgage was in place on the house before the city. So we've got, I can't remember what it was, $300 in unpaid utility bills, and there's a several $100,000 mortgage in front of us, so we really don't have any interest in defending this, nor do we have any legal ability to foreclose on a lien that's past due. So we're just added as a matter of course. I probably see 2 of these a day,
I see.
but not lawsuits, deed of trust foreclosure notices.
I see. Okay. Well, with that, I would move item C be referred to City Attorney and Insurance Services. Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Corman, seconded by Mr. Zwicker, that item C be referred to the City Attorney and Insurance Services. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to unfinished business, Mr. Corman.
Yeah, I guess I do have unfinished business. Was this carryover from last year?
Yeah, I don't know if you have any reports.
We don't have them.
Okay, we don't have a report on that. Okay. No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Ms. Palmer.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Person.
No unfinished business.
Mr. Prince.
No unfinished business.
Okay. Ms. Breyer.
Yes, Finance Committee has just one committee report, that's vouchers. The other item listed there, municipal court revenue and collections, was really just a briefing that we had today. So with that, we have a Finance Committee report.
Finance Committee report, approval of claims and payroll vouchers. The Finance Committee approves for payment on January 7th, 2013, claim vouchers 317324 through 318021, 8 wire transfers, and 2 payroll runs with benefit withholding payments totaling $20,373,448.87, and payroll vouchers include 1,440 direct deposits and 122 payroll checks totaling $3,238,099.79. This is signed by the 3 committee members.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Ms. Breyer.
I move that council concur in the Finance Committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Breyer, seconded by Mr. Zwicker, that council concur in the Finance Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Madam Clerk, getting back to Randy Corman's question, do we have a Committee of the Whole report?
No, I have no report.
Okay. Okay, we have no resolutions and ordinances, so we're going to move on to new business. Mr. Corman.
Wait, yes, let's see. Thanks. We don't matter.
I'm sorry, did I miss you?
Oh, boy, did you.
Oh, well, excuse me, let me hold back and move on here.
They have anything.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay,
No unfinished business.
well, I
Mayor.
knew that. Okay, moving on to new business.
A sensitive
Just moving
group
things
tonight.
along, yeah.
First of the year. Yes, Mr. Mayor, first of all, some routine business and then something exciting. First of all, I'd just like to announce a Committee of the Whole meeting next Monday night, January 14th, 5:30 to 7 o'clock p.m. in the 7th floor conferencing center. There's 4 items on that agenda. The first is Fire and Emergency Services Incident Resource Deployment. Second item is Valley Communications CAD update. Third item is Center of Hope Day Shelter lease agreement, and the fourth item is a waste management settlement.
Was that the exciting part?
No, that was the boring part. The
Okay.
exciting part is I just want to say that throughout 2012, Mr. Zwicker did a wonderful job leading this council. It was a challenging year, the 4th or 5th year in a row of recession continuing to take its toll on our city. Rich had to oversee the development of another 2-year budget in the middle of all that. Not to mention we'd had some issues that had been passionate issues for the public, and he had to steer a path through those. And just a myriad of activities as we're getting to be a bigger and bigger city. And I think he did a wonderful job. We were very fortunate to have Rich in that position last year. And we have a nice present for him to commemorate so that he can always remember his year as council president. And it's not just a piece of paper. It's actually a
Piece of glass.
piece of glass.
With peanuts.
Yeah. So thank you
Excellent.
very
Thank
much.
you, Randy.
On behalf
Appreciate
of the
it.
whole
Thank you very
council, I
much.
really appreciate it.
Thank you. Speech.
No.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Corman. Ms. Palmer.
Let's see. Oh, the Transportation Aviation Committee will be canceled. Normally, it would be meeting on Thursday, January 10th. And that's
Okay.
it.
Mr. Person?
No committee meetings to announce, Mr. Mayor, but this afternoon, the Public Safety Committee had a really good briefing on the marijuana laws, and all I can say is that was an eye-opener with this stuff that we have to go through. So I think it's a very important issue, and that the Committee of the Whole should have that. So I want to refer the new marijuana laws briefing to the Committee of the Whole or our council retreat, whichever the council president would like.
Second?
Do you have a preference?
Yeah, I think the council retreat would be a good
Okay.
forum for that.
Been moved by Mr. Person, second by Ms. Palmer, that the topic of involving the new marijuana laws be referred to the Committee of the Whole retreat,
Yeah.
council retreat. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Prince?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the Utilities Committee meeting on January 14th has been canceled.
Okay. Ms. Breyer?
I have announced, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Mr. Zwicker?
Yes, I'd like to announce the cancellation of the Planning and Development Committee meeting scheduled for January 10th, again canceled. That's all, Mr.
Okay,
Mayor.
thank you. And Mr. Taylor?
Yes, the Community Services Committee meeting scheduled for January 14th will be canceled as well. That is
Okay,
all.
thank you. Moving on to audience comment, is there anybody who would like to address the council? Mr. Corman?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, with that, and I don't have a cheat sheet in front of me, so I'll do my best to get this right. I would like to move that thank you. I move the council meeting recess into executive session for approximately 30 minutes to discuss labor negotiations with no official action to be taken, and that the council meeting be adjourned when the executive session is adjourned.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Corman, seconded by Mr. Zwicker, that council recess into executive session for about 30 minutes over labor negotiations. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're in recess.
Together and making change in our community. And, that's something that we can do, and it doesn't take large numbers to make things like that happen.
If this group got together to get rid of soda, I bet we could do the same.